Hi, welcome to today's video where we are going straight to business. I am going to show you exactly how you can build out the type of game-changing, winning resume that helps you land the type of high-paying jobs that you want with the best companies in the world. This is a proven resume format that helped me in my transition from law to tech and has also helped a lot of my clients navigate six-figure career transitions very easily. Not only am I going to talk you through the theory of what it takes to build a winning resume, I'm also going to share something that I've never done before, which is basically extracting a portion of my course which shows you the step-by-step process, so that all you need to do is grab a pen and a notepad, follow through to the rest of this video, and have all of the information and resources you need in order to build a winning resume. If you're new to this channel, my name is Dels. I'm a lawyer, business and tech consultant, and also your favorite career strategist, and I help people navigate career transitions into new industries that they love. The purpose of this channel is to make your career easy, effortless, and fulfilling. So if you know that you want to wake up every day excited for work, then this is the channel for you. So please do subscribe, hit the like button, because here you're not just going to learn the theory, I'm going to show you the how. Plus, stay through to the end of this video where I'll be sharing exactly how you can get your hands on the templates, the samples, and everything else that's referenced in the module that you're going to watch for free. That's only going to be free for a limited time. And if you want to go deeper, stay through to the end because I've got a surprise for you. So what really is a winning resume? A winning resume is one that does 5 simple things. Simple but core. The first thing is that it really demonstrates your personal brand and highlights you as the perfect candidate for the job that you want. This is going to be so relevant for you guys who are career changers and who are trying to navigate your career transitions into different industries or completely different types of companies than you're used to. So if you are ambitious, if you are driven and you know that you want more out of work and you want a fulfilling career, you just need to change the way that you think about your CV. Stop following bog standard videos and articles and stuff that just talk about general stuff. You're going to learn how to be specific and build something that is truly relevant for the industry that you want to move into, even if you may not have obvious direct experience. So a particular example of this is your LinkedIn definitely needs to be in your resume. Plus, if you're pivoting into the creative industry or even some sections of tech where an online portfolio is relevant, then you need to make sure that that's linked and included in your CV. So you're going to see in the step-by-step course shortly how you're able to do that. The next thing is that your winning resume really needs to showcase what you can do for the company rather than what they can do for you. This is like one of the biggest mistakes that people make. And as someone who's been on the other side of the recruitment table many times when I've had to chime in on interviews for people who are joining my team and who are going to work with me, if you keep talking about my resume objective is to do XYZ, or I want to work with your company because they're the best in the world, for me as someone who works in the team, I'm like, okay, yeah, we're working in a great company, but what can you do to help us achieve our strategic objectives, right? And this is the biggest mistake that I see people continue to make. People keep going on about resume objectives when really your profile summary is what's important. You're going to learn exactly why as you progress through this video. The third thing that a winning resume is going to help you showcase is exactly how you meet the company's requirements and also how you are a cultural fit as well. I mean, it seems really obvious, but it's quite surprising how so many people don't research the companies that they're looking to move into and see the culture and try and get the perception of the type of people that work there. Because if you're going and applying for a job somewhere that's not very formal and you go in for your interview in your suit and your language and your CV is very, very formal and it doesn't match up with the vibe of the company, immediately a recruiter or hiring manager is going to look at your resume and be like, this person seems great, but not really sure if they're going to be a fit. And if there's other people in the process that have more engaging resumes, they're going to be called in over you. Also, if you are a career changer, don't get bogged down by the skills that you don't have. If you're the type of person who is ambitious, a self-starter, I know that you're already looking at how you can get those skills. You don't always need to go back to school and spend a whole year trying to figure the whole thing out and spend years in education. You don't need to do that. I'm living proof that you can transition into tech with literally like 9 weeks of experience. But what you want to do is make sure that your resume is communicating the skills that you actually have. It's positioning yourself as a match for the company's requirements, because even if you don't necessarily have the hard skills, if you've been working in industry for a while, you can have parallel skills that you can kind of rephrase in a way that matches up, because you know that when you get to the interview stage, you can really sell yourself, especially if you've done the market research that we talk about in the rest of this video. Lastly, your winning resume needs to be engaging, but also functional at beating the applicant tracking systems. If you don't know what ATS systems are, your mind is going to be blown when I explain them later on in this video. Essentially, they are filters that could block your resume from actually landing in the hands of the right people. In a few minutes, this video is going to break it down for you and show you exactly how you can craft your resume in a way that beats those systems, so that when it lands in the hands of the hiring manager or the recruiter or whoever the decision maker is that's going to call you in for an interview, they read your resume and they're like, wow, this person sounds really interesting. I'd love to get to know more. I feel like they might be a good fit for the team. If they stalk you on LinkedIn, they love what they see. If they look at your portfolio, they love what they see. And that is the purpose of this video. As a reminder, go grab your notepad, go grab your pen, because if you are serious and you know that you really want to step into the next level of your career, you know that you want a 6-figure job, you know that you want to work for the types of company that really value work-life balance and will value your input to their team, this is the resource that you need. And if you want to go deeper, there will be an opportunity for you to join me live and learn how other career changers like you who really want to take control of their lives have been able to make successful career pivots without taking a pay cut or starting over from scratch, using my career game changer framework. Now that we know what a winning resume is, let's break down the steps for creating one. The first is to create a master resume. This is different from the winning resume that you're going to use to apply for your dream job. Instead, it's a reference document that contains a master list of all of your professional experiences, your educational degrees, certifications, trainings, volunteering, everything. It's a complete summary of your background, including the jobs that you've done and your accomplishments in each of those roles. There's no need for finesse at this stage. You just want to create a basic document that you can refer to when building out your winning resume using the tips that I'm going to share shortly. If you've completed your day one assessment, your strengths reflection journal, and your value matching exercise, you've already started pulling these pieces together. So grab your notes and start creating your master resume. It should include the following elements: your personal details, your key skills and your areas of expertise, your professional experience, your educational history, your certifications, awards, any extra things like volunteering, your interests, and so on. You can use the template link to the bottom of this video as a guide, but as I said, it's something that you've probably seen before. Just a basic document will suffice, because we are going to refine it later as we go through this process. The next step to creating a winning resume is to define your target. In order to create a successful resume, you need a focus. And without this, you can't make a real impact on the audience that you want to target. This is where a lot of career changers fall short, because they create or update their resume blind, or even worse, they use the same resume to apply for different jobs, which is an absolute no-no. When they don't get traction, they decide to blow money on a resume writer, but still they have no luck. After a few tries, they give up and they say things like they don't have the right experience, it's just not the right time, and they've just thrown time, money, and effort down the drain. There may be other factors in play, of course, but the glaring issue here is a lack of focus. It's just like pitching a good product to different customers, but no one cares because it's not clear how you can help them or even make a difference in their lives. Your resume is one of your biggest marketing tools as a career changer. So in order to create a winning version that will get your dream employer to buy into you, you need to know exactly what your dream job is, what the employer of that job is looking for, and what doing that job would feel and look like. You already know that the key to those insights is personal and external research, and the various lessons in this course have been helping you understand that. It's now time for you to start putting that knowledge into practice by building out your winning resume. So head over to LinkedIn and any other relevant job sites like Glassdoor or Indeed and find a job that ticks all of the boxes of your career goals and values. Not only should you look for jobs that you want, but also include additional keywords that match up with your background. For example, if you work in banking and you want to switch into a marketing role, not only should you search for marketing jobs, but also add terms like banking or finance experience to your search, as they will allow you to find stepping stone roles or identify marketing positions that are actually desperate for someone with your unusual background. Similarly, if you speak Spanish, you could also add the term Spanish speaker to your search to find marketing jobs that will need Spanish speakers, which is something that you have and you can leverage for your pivot. Once you've found the job that sounds ideal, find two or more similar roles and print out their job descriptions. Review them and see what the commonalities of those jobs are. So, what are the overlapping requirements? Can you spot any connections between your experience? See, this is where your master resume is going to come in and what the companies are asking for. The key here is to pick your favorite job and craft a winning resume around that job. You want to lift experiences from your master resume to create a winning version of that document that is geared towards the best job description that you can find that lights you up. All of the good vibes and excitement that you feel about the role will help you stay engaged and creative when drafting your winning resume, because we all know that resume writing is not the most exciting project in the world. Once you've created your winning resume, you can then use that version to apply for the dream job that you've identified and also use it as a template for any other job applications that you need to make in the future. The point here is to create an excellent resume based on a job description that really fires you up. And if you can start off from that position, it will be much easier and quicker to adapt your winning resume for other jobs later on down the road. So here is what your winning resume creation journey could look like. First, create your master resume that includes all of your career and educational experiences. Next, find interesting jobs and create a winning resume for your favorite job, using the relevant experiences lifted from the master resume. So the reason why you have multiple job descriptions to use as a reference is because you want to find commonalities across the industry and see what various employers are looking for the type of jobs that you want. Next step is to finalize your winning resume and use it to apply for your favorite job. Once you've done that, find more exciting opportunities and adapt your winning resume using relevant experiences lifted from your master resume to apply for each one of your desired roles. Now that you've defined your career target and understood the need for a master resume, it's time for you to start building out your winning version. However, at this point, it's crucial for you to pick the right format. There's so many perspectives out there about what it takes to create an awesome resume, and it can be confusing to know what to do. There's a question about whether your resume should be creative or traditional, Word or PDF, 1 page or 2 pages, photo or no photo. You catch my drift? It can be so tricky, but the right format depends on the industry that you're targeting. So if you're applying for a job in a traditional space like law, there's no reason why your resume should include graphics or any other sort of fancy designs. However, some creative fields like graphic design might require this, so you should stick to that standard. It's also dependent on the market that you're based in or the market that you're targeting. So for example, in the UK, it's an absolute no to include a photograph on your resume. However, in some countries like the United Arab Emirates, it's pretty common for certain industries. And lastly, the format of your resume depends on how you are applying, and this is one of the biggest factors. These days, most people are applying for jobs online. So in that case, it's important that your resume is friendly to both the human eye and the robots, also known as the applicant tracking systems. So what are these things? Simply put, applicant tracking systems are types of software used by recruiters and employers to collect, scan, filter, rank, and track the candidate applications that they receive for their open job positions. They do other things as well, but these are the main things that they're used for. Applicant tracking systems help companies that receive thousands of applications to streamline their recruitment processes, and these days, approximately 99% of Fortune 500 companies use them to manage their hiring workload. So while it's useful for these companies to use them, it can be bad news for a lot of job seekers because around 75% of candidates get rejected, even the good ones. In short, if you're applying for a job online and you want your resume to land in front of the right people, then you need to get past these gatekeepers. The thing is, even if you have all of the work experience and you're the perfect candidate for the job, If your resume is not optimized, then it's likely that you'll be passed over. I know it's unfair, but now you know. Some companies use both ATS systems and human reviewers to analyze the job applications that they receive. But since it's hard to predict where your resume will end up when you press send, it's important for you to be prepared. So, how do you get your resume past these cheeky applicant tracking systems? The main thing is to use keywords. Applicant tracking systems are programmed to scan resumes for specific words and rank them based on how closely they match the requirements of the job. So, where's the first place that you should look for the right keywords? The job description, of course. Generally, the more optimized your resume is for the keywords in the job description, the more likely it is to be ranked highly by the ATS systems. But here's the catch: keyword stuffing does not work, and I can't emphasize this enough. You actually need to use the keywords in the context of your skills and your experience to show that you're capable to do the job. Remember, if your resume gets past the ATS and lands in front of the recruiter, but it's hard to read or doesn't show relevance, it will most likely be trashed. It's okay to use the same keywords multiple times, as the ATS also uses the number of occurrences of a word as a ranking factor in certain instances. However, your resume should also be designed for human readability. So avoid sounding like a parrot by overusing certain words, and be strategic with the things that you reflect in your resume. Another place to find relevant keywords is by analyzing other job descriptions that match up with the role that you're going for. This is where your market research becomes incredibly useful, because you'll be able to see what words are commonly used in your industry and reflect them in your resume. Avoid generic buzzwords that are fluffy and don't really say anything, like proactive or dynamic. Instead, use keywords or phrases that are relevant for the industry that you want to work in, and also use action verbs to describe the impact of your work experience. We'll explore how to do this shortly, but remember, avoid using bland cookie cutter words in your resume at all costs. Use match titles. At least one of your job titles should match the description of the job that you're applying for. This can be tricky for career changers or even people who work at companies that use creative job titles. So if that applies to you, change the job title of your previous positions to match the one that you're going for, as long as it's honest for you to do so and you've done the type of work required. To demonstrate this, let's revisit our trusty career changer, John. Remember that he's currently a lawyer, but he's also involved in the project management side of things. So since he's now pivoting into project management full time, it's okay for him to describe himself as a project manager on his resume. Alternatively, and if relevant for the job that he's going for, he could call himself a lawyer and project manager. That way, it is clear that his current role has dual elements. So you can adopt the same strategy as long as you have the right experience. Reflect the phrasing of the job description as naturally as possible. This point is particularly relevant for things like certifications and licenses. So if the job description asks for a PMP certification, for example, and you know what that stands for because you work in project management, you can add that same term to your resume like this: project management professional, brackets, PMP. The reason for this is that applicant tracking systems are generally black or white, yes or no, and they search for what's been programmed into them. Some of them are getting a bit more sophisticated, but since it's hard to know how the system is programmed, then you really need to do the work to make sure that your resume is optimized to present you as a strong fit for the job description that you're going for. That said, I repeat, don't overdo the keyword matching and turn your resume into a mirror of the job advert. That won't work. Hiring managers and recruiters are smarter than this, so make sure that you're strategically using the right words rather than just copying the job description. Use standard section titles. Generally, your resume should have the following sections: personal details, profile summary, key skills or areas of expertise, professional or work experience, education, certifications and awards, and extras for things like volunteering, interests, and so on. Unless you're in a super creative industry where the norms are different, stick to these standard labels because they are the things that the ATS understands. So instead of changing the header of your work experience to say something like "where I've worked," stick to the tried and tested professional experience label. Don't embed anything in the headers or footers of your resume. Sometimes people add their contact information in the header section to create space for the rest of their professional information, But this could be disastrous because some ATS systems only scan the information in the body of the document. So if you put important information elsewhere, it's going to be missed. Steer clear of graphics, fancy designs, columns, or things like that. They're just a waste of time because the ATS can't read them. And in fact, they could be detrimental to your application. So see the bottom of this video for simple ATS-friendly resume formats that work. Stick to clean and easy to read fonts like Arial, Verdana, or Calibri, however you pronounce them. You could even use Times New Roman, but that seems to be old-fashioned and boring, so I would really avoid that if you can. Use Word documents rather than PDFs. As I mentioned earlier, ATS systems scan your resume for the terms that they've been programmed to look for, but many systems seem to have an issue with converting PDFs in order to extract the relevant information. To avoid this issue, use the Word version of your resume when you're submitting your applications online, and save the PDFs for when you're emailing your resume directly to a contact who's going to refer you, or if you're sending your resume straight to the hiring manager. The points we've looked at so far are fundamental for building the type of winning resume that gets past the ATS systems. However, there's an important point for you to also consider. ATSs will also be looking for the number of years of experience that you have. So if you're a career changer and you don't have the right experience or certifications, then you'll need to try a different approach in order to get past these systems and get right in front of the decision makers. To navigate how to do that and watch the rest of this video, again, this module is completely free. All you have to do is click the link in the description box and you'll get the direct access to the rest of the video, as well as how you can download the master resume, the templates, the ATS friendly one that I talked about in the video, and also a sample that works so that you can build it out and customize it for you. I'm going to keep those additional resources free for a very limited time. So if you're serious about that, then you know exactly what to do. And if you want to go deeper, this is your opportunity to join me live on the advanced private training that I talked about at the start of this video, where I'll be talking about how mid-career professionals who are ambitious and driven can make mid-career changes without taking a pay cut or starting over from scratch. You guys all know that I made my career transition from law to tech, and I've helped other people navigate the same processes in a way that we have not compromised our financial security. Plus, we've gained in terms of work-life balance, and that's really the mission of this channel. And if you want the same in your life, then make sure that you click below this video for details on how you can join that live private training. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope it really helps you. I know that it will. So please do share some love. Comment below and let me know which one of the nuggets that I shared in this video is the most useful. And of course, if you're able to land a job or an interview using the strategies and techniques that I've shared, then please do let me know below as well. All right, bye guys.